Hi, everyone. We are here, Danny and I, to talk about being present. Welcome to this new exploration. Yeah, Danny, so how are you? How was your experience with exercise, with movement?
Okay, yeah. So for anybody that didn't tune in last time, I used the podcast as an opportunity for accountability, and I said I would do a morning routine each morning, which consisted of qigong, um, some light exercise, and then some meditation, 5 minutes of meditation. So I did that every day except for one day, but I would say that I didn't execute it exactly as planned because the part of the initial point was to get out of bed and like do this right away and help myself like come into my body and basically it ties into being present because instead of laying in bed hitting the snooze button and like letting my mind wander, my intention was to get up first thing, do some movement, and kind of like start the day from a healthier standpoint, and then meditate. Basically, trying to mimic what Deanna does every morning, but in a small, easy way. But I did the routine every day except once, but I still was like laying down for too long beforehand.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
I got some progress, but I still have progress to ahead of me. So I think, okay, so this week I'll try to do it correctly.
Yes.
So I'll try to do it for round two of accountability. So this time I'll just like when I wake up, I'll actually do it first thing before like letting those thoughts get in my head, like what I have to do for the day and worries and things like that. So I'm a step in the right direction. I thought it was one step, but it's like two steps. Let's see.
Two steps. So what I see is that then you did some progress because I mean a lot of progress I would say for myself that you did almost every day exercise,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
It's just that it took you a little bit longer to start exercising. And how do you want to do it now, Danny?
I think when I wake up in the morning, I should get up immediately. I've done this before and I know better. Like I know that for me, this is a good way to start the day is to just wake up and then start.
Like just wake up
Yeah, and then get out of
and get
bed.
up.
Yes.
Get out of bed.
Maybe not everybody needs that, but like I think that works for me because that extra 10 minutes of sleep doesn't do me any good. And it's just not the way to start the day. I think it's kind of something you can be proud of too. That if you get up and you do some kind of routine or exercise immediately, like it's something you can say, okay, well, I did that. That was kind of hard. This is something people find hard. So you're immediately doing something that you can kind of pat yourself on the back and say, well, at least I did this today. You know what I mean?
Yes, like you challenge yourself into
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that you don't regularly do. And then now is, well, I'm gonna, as soon as I wake up, my mind wake up, my mind is awake. Then instead of staying there, because probably those 10 minutes are not sleeping moments.
right, yeah.
It's more
For me, honestly, it's probably like ruminating. Like I'll
ruminating.
lay
Yeah,
there and I don't want to
mind,
face the day.
the
Yeah,
thoughts start to thinking, whichever thoughts are.
yeah.
That's what
It's
we're going to
usually
talk about
something
today.
about yeah, like the day or whatever. But yeah. So that's my report. So I thought it was just a one step thing, but
Yes.
maybe it'll be we'll talk about it in the
We'll
future.
talk about yes in our next exploration.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
I
work in
think
progress.
I think it's very human, and I think it's very much like that. For me, it's also like that. Whenever as I think I said it before, when I'm not, let's say I'm traveling, then I don't have I couldn't do my routine
Hmm.
in the place where I was. So when I come back, it takes me a little bit to go back to. waking up, start exercising. Sometimes it happens to me too when I stay there, oh, 5 minutes more, 10
Yeah.
minutes more, and then, but my mind is already awake, and probably my eyes are not awake, but my mind is already awake.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
takes me a little bit of time to, okay, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I understand that as well. Mhm.
Yeah. I think it's
So
the way to
we
go.
have a new goal then for next week.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
this time, yeah, I'll get up. I cheated. I would say I kind of cheated. By the end of the week, I'm like, you know what? I kind of didn't do what I set out, but it was still good because I exercised and I by doing
Yeah.
the qigong, like I was telling you earlier, I kind of got rid of some like little nagging aches and pains that I had. So definitely got some progress.
Definitely, I would say.
Mm,
I think it's a great progress. And I think acknowledging that, I did it. You did it, Danny. I think that's important too.
mm,
Yeah. hmm
thanks. So yeah, I guess we can start talking about today's topic, which is presence. Um, I know you were mentioning again before we started recording, you were mentioning that there's kind of like two aspects to it. Maybe we can talk about that
hmm
at the beginning and then maybe go into each type.
Each, yes. So, mm, uh, be present. I think we arrive to this amazing, topic is because, as we were saying before, mental health, physical health, emotional health, like our health and well-being are tied up completely with being present, right?
Hmm.
And then we started to talk about movement because movement brings us to the present.
Right.
Because we are moving our body to be present. Also, it helps us at the end of movement, we are more present. Mhm. So just to mention, why is it that we talk about being present? How important that is. And what is it, being present? Mhm. What is it being present? So being present is mm, uh, being anchored in the here and now. Mhm.
Hmm.
And what does that mean? So it means that I am aware of my mind, I am aware of my body, and I am aware of my emotions. And for me, also my energy, I am aware of that too.
Mm.
So, but what does that is? What is it? So I am aware, I know where my thoughts are, right? There is a knowing there of how my thoughts are. Oh, look, I am thinking about this. I'm thinking about that. Is it present? Is it future or is it past? Mhm. Right? Oh no, I'm going to have coffee today while I am, you know, I don't know, when I am exercising. So I'm not fully present with my exercise. So becoming aware and paying attention to my thoughts is one aspect. Then paying attention to my sensations, right? For example, tension, breathing, posture, right? So that is also part of being present. And then is the other aspect is mm, well, yeah, the emotion on its own. I have, I'm at peace. I have joy. I have fear. I have anger, or those emotions that are in the body, right? That they are. We feel them in here. So that is what being present is, being able to be anchored in the here and now, knowing, being aware of how my thoughts are, how my breathing is, how my sensations are. Am I tense? Am I tight? How am I there in my physical body, in my body? And then I think your physical body is redundant, physical and body. So
Mm.
in your body, and then also knowing how emotionally you are. Um, so um, it is a difficult state to get to because it means that it is an alignment, right? An alignment in what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and how I am actually acting. So this is what being present is. So it's an internal knowing, awareness of me. And then presence is how I am present with another or others
Right.
or nature, right? So it's relational, the presence. That is always, in my danza classes when we work together, I say, for instance, I am grateful for your presence because the way we related and the way we were in relationship moving is so important for our mental well-being, right? Our mental health. So presence and being present, you know, I would say those are the differences. Being presence, it comes when it's in relationship to another,
Hmm.
others, or nature. Yeah.
So to exhibit presence, you have to be present first and foremost, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
I thought that was
You got
interesting
it.
that they are two different things. Um, yeah, I guess there's so much to talk about. But yeah, I guess I want to stay on that point for a second in case other people don't quite get it. But there's being present, which is something you can do on your own. And I'm trying to learn to understand it a little bit myself, but like this is
Yeah.
something you can do on your own. But presence is almost like could be a gift to other people in a sense, or it's
Mhm.
just honoring other people in a sense too. Like you're just there with them and you're not thinking about something else, I suppose.
Exactly. Like you are with them. So at the same time, you are present with you in your wholeness, right? When we talked about our holistic, seeing us as a whole person,
Yeah.
then I relate with another, and that creates this presence, right? Like
Mhm.
is is what we create together when we are present. Mhm. Right? Sometimes we don't even talk about presence if we didn't feel the person. We when we notice that the person was not actually there fully, right?
Right.
If the person was in only in their mind only, let's say just talking about, and then there is no sense, there is no embodiment. I think we were going to talk about a little bit about embodiment, how embodiment reflects presence too. Mhm. Yeah.
Right, right, yeah. I kind of want to like let's go back in a sense, but what like we at one point I wanted to make is that like if someone's just starting out trying to be more healthy, I guess mentally healthy and feel better in general, I feel like I guess I have 2 points. One, it could seem daunting because you're talking about okay, like you're focusing on your breath, you're focusing on your body, and you're seeing your thoughts and things like that. So it's something that's a work in progress for everybody. So I think
Mhm.
anybody that's new to this, they can relax a little bit and know that this isn't you don't just jump in and try to do everything all at once. But if you are starting out,
Mhm.
it you can keep in mind that presence is basically important on every step of the journey. So if you try to do like one thing, for example, say someone wants like a low barrier way to feel better. Say they decide I'm going to breathe better. So they're going to take deeper breaths, they're going to breathe into their diaphragm. But even just to do that one new task, it requires presence, or at least having presence makes it easier. Um, so it's kind of required, right? So like if I'm gonna focus on my breath, I'm not just training myself to breathe better. I'm also training presence because you have to be conscious of your breathing in any given moment to make it better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Is as though as I decide to pay attention to my breathing, right? Then I am returning to myself and being present with that
Hmm.
part, that aspect of me, right? So as soon as let's say one a very, very, very simple exercise for breathing is just to pay attention to your breath.
Right.
So to your breathing. So I'm gonna pay attention, not to change it, just to pay attention.
Hmm.
And becoming aware of it. Where is it coming from? From in your body? Oh, let me see. Mhm. Is it coming from my abdomen? Is it coming from my chest? Where is it coming from? Is it small? Oh wow, it's very big, or it's expansive. So the fact that you are just paying attention to that, you are becoming more present. You are tapping into being present
Hmm.
and becoming aware more. Right. So that's the power of breathing. It is actually considered the body mind. If you want to come bring together body and mind, then pay attention to your breathing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And yeah, I guess I just thought of breathing as like a random example, but like it's obviously now that I'm thinking about it, that's like the thing people do with meditating and
Yeah. Yeah. Following your breath, right? To be able to
right.
go to instead of being out with the thoughts, right? So the other thing that is important about presence is the think how paying attention to your thoughts, right? Are these thoughts rumination means past? Or what
Hmm.
happened yesterday, what I did yesterday, what did this person did to me yesterday? Did I do that, right? Or hmm, my thoughts are tomorrow is going to be a bad day because it's going to rain. And tomorrow we don't know because, or in 3 weeks, or in 1 year, or in 2 years, or in 5 years. That is about the future, right? But
Hmm.
then being here and now, being present, is just staying with what's happening right now in this moment, right? For example, I'm going to drink this a little bit of water. So as I am doing that, I'm paying attention to I'm paying attention to the coldness of the glass. I'm paying attention to how I am bringing it in front of me, right? And then all that is like that you become one as you are doing one little activity.
Right. So by doing that, either like I guess focusing on your breath is the easiest way to gain presence.
That is one way I would say. The other way is paying attention to your senses,
Okay.
which is another way of helping myself to come back to the present.
Like you said with the water, I guess, right? Yeah.
Like I use touch here, right? And I'm looking, so I'm using two, right? And then when I drink it, I'm only be using three senses.
Mm.
hmm Right.
And if you're fostering presence, in a sense, it ties into a whole being like holistic, I suppose, with who you are. I don't even know the proper words, I guess, but what
hmm
comes to my mind is a lot of people these days think that their thoughts are them and that's everything. And if you talk about incorporating your body into, I guess, your sense of being, like that doesn't mean anything to a lot of people. Um, but it as you start experiencing your whole body as part of your identity, I suppose. I think that's like a healthier way to be. And yeah, I don't know the exact words for it. I'm still learning, I guess. But I don't know, maybe you can speak on that. I suppose like a question I would have out of that is how can you compare someone who only uses their thoughts as part of who they are, and they think being present is, focusing their thinking on you, you know what I mean, compared to someone who is with you like holistically, in that they can feel their breath and their body as well as their mind.
Yeah, well, that is a great question, Danny, because mm, society in general, I would say there is a tendency uh to really um, how do you say that when you are prized? Would you say when if you are using your intellect, if you are using your mind, then there is a lot of prize in it, right?
Okay, like praise, you mean like getting praise?
Praise.
Yeah.
Exactly, praise. There
Okay.
is always, mm, you know, uh, how you think, how agile you are in your thinking,
Yeah.
how analytical you are. That's great. So it's very welcome that it's embraced that aspect of us,
Hmm.
right? So there is a tendency for in general is in this society, in this you know time of where we are now is intellectual, mind-oriented person. It is, is oh yes, let's is welcomed, is embraced, as I was saying, and as praised as well. So, but then we are kind of like we are not allowing the full of the whole being of who we are experiencing life. So we experience the life just from that place, right? From
Hmm. Yeah.
that place of knowing that my thoughts, it's who I am, right? Mm. So we are missing the other aspects of ourselves, how the body, our body, is the first one that actually gets the information, the real information. And then after the body has sensed that, then a second interpretation will come to your mind. Now, being in our head and being in our intellect is good for certain things. It's amazing for particular things that we need to do as humans. And then there are moments where, when we are talking about emotions, feelings, then we need to include the other aspects of ourselves because it will be incomplete whenever we need to make a decision. That's why sometimes we don't, as humans, um, let's say we don't have a possibility to express what we really feel, right? And then sickness comes out of that. And that was my case when I was many years ago. Everything I was always in here, everything was analytical, everything was there was nothing from here down. And
Hmm.
I started to experience, I burned out actually. And my body started to get sick, and I was very young, right? To be already experiencing that. So we are losing the full capacity of what we are,
Right.
is this wholeness that we are, because we can experience the whole mm, beauty of life as well. And I'm talking about, when we have a hard time, there is also that experience of no, there is moments that are moments that are very amazing. There are moments that are not so much, that are hard, and then the whole of us is experiencing both sides. And the fact that we are including our whole being, not only our mind, then it will most likely will help us to come out of moments that are very hard, that are challenging, that are difficult. When we are at a crossroad, then if we include all of ourselves, then it will be much easier to tap into the other side of the coin, or to find a way, right? To find a way or find a path to be able to feel better, which is what we want to do. Mhm.
Like one thing I guess that comes to my mind is like just paying attention to your body, which is something I try to do more and more.
Mhm.
Um, and I guess where my mind is going is how can someone that's maybe not feeling so well use that as a tool to feel better? Like that can be an entry point, especially if you're overthinking, you're thinking a lot. Well,
Mhm.
I guess I'll just speak on my own experience. Like I try to like be less tense nowadays. So I just always check in with myself, like how is my shoulders, how is my neck? Like even as we're talking right now, I'm not a master, I'm still learning it. So once in a while I say, okay, like I'm hunching up, you know, yeah, like I'm crouching over or whatever.
Mhm.
And just by paying attention to that, that gives me insight into my body, and by maybe changing how I'm my posture, how I'm sitting, that affects my mind and my sense of well-being. So it's like a new entry point. So instead of being in your mind and only trying to like think your way out of your problems,
Right.
it's like now this is this new entry point. Like maybe if I just, relax a bit, and now maybe my mind will change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess that's should be something anybody can do. Like, but maybe you can give your thoughts on that if you like, about how I guess tuning into your body can be a way forward, even if you feel like, oh, like I'm having these negative thoughts and that's the problem. I need to like fix these negative thoughts. Oh, I think negative. I think it's too negative. Like that's like a trap, right? So like how can focusing on your body give you a way forward that just thinking doesn't?
Right, right. You are completely right, Danny, when you say that is the experience that you have when, okay, you are deciding to pay attention to your tension, right? The tension. And then as you do that, then the mind at that moment needs to kind of like come together with the your eyes probably going to the tension. It's here, or actually it's on the other side, or at that very moment when when you are tapping into your tension, the mind is actually there, right?
Hmm.
Right? Do you experience that?
Yeah, yeah.
It's right there. It's like, oh, I cannot be being
Okay,
here
right.
and being here.
Yes.
Right. So when I am here, I need the awareness of what it is. So I need my my what I would say. I need the knowledge that I have about right about what tension is for me, which is the thought about tension, right? But then when internally you are paying attention to that with I don't know if it happens to you, but for me, it's like, oh, I go here with
Yeah,
the eye. My mind it goes
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So at that second, the mind and body are together. Mind, right, are
Mm,
and body are doing this together. Now, if you include breathing, so I'm here, oh, I am tense, and then you breathe into it, then you are oxygenating your brain to be able to stay there for a little longer, right? So those are the resources that you start to use to be able to be present. And what helps, what would I be wanted to be present? Because if I am with my attention, then I can make a different decision, right? For example, oh, I am tense and it's coming from my posture. So I'm
mm-hmm.
going to make a different decision and then I say, I'm going to change my posture, right? And then I
Yeah.
act on that decision. So I do this, right? So we had all the elements there in that example that is so common. Mhm. Right? So become present. When I am becoming present, I am aware. When I am aware, my mind and body are one. then I have possibilities. I have another choice, and then I act on that choice if I want to. Mhm.
Mhm.
Right? And that is all the process we do with entering through the body as a form of being present. So it comes to mind immediately, right when I pay attention. I don't go here, stay, but actually have the possibility to land here in my body. And then, for example, the headaches that are coming because of neck tension, many people experiences that. Then you have a possibility to change that, right? Because now is my posture. I have decided that I want to change my posture now. Mhm.
Mm.
So
And then in a sense, then does the tension come from, would you say tension comes from lack of presence? You know what I mean?
that is a very good question. Is like we talked about when the tension is already there,
Yeah.
right? And then what happened? How did I get tense?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I'm just thinking it from my own experience. I have tension in my neck, like you're talking about. And I can't help but think that if I was paying attention to my body or my health in a sense properly, I wouldn't have got there to begin with. And I also notice as I'm practicing paying attention that I catch myself earlier on than I would have in the past, where like, I'm in the past I might only notice when my neck hurts a lot, and now I can kind of just feel it coming on. And usually I feel like it's associated with the breath. I guess everything is kind of connected, but if I have tension in my neck, then I might also say, oh, and I'm also not breathing deeply enough. I'm shallow breathing. So it's
That's
kind of
right.
all
And
connected, I guess.
it's all connected, right? And then when you start to track, to trace, where is it coming from? No, okay, I have tension. It's here. I am aware. I am one at that moment. My mind calmed down to be able to, my thoughts, let's say, right? And then let's say you breathe. And then, okay, where is this coming from? So you start tracing that. Oh, actually, what is it that I was doing? Well, I was working on this spreadsheet for this. So this is something. I don't know if spreadsheets are still
Uh,
in the market, but I am working in Canva at this moment.
right.
I'm doing a marketing campaign. Oh no, of course. What is this? Oh yeah, no, actually creating something that I don't know how it's going to be. Oh, so it's uncertainty of this. So you can start tracing where it's actually coming from. Mhm. Right?
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
If
Yeah.
you give yourself that time to
Hmm.
to just giving yourself the time to do that in that moment.
I wonder, like, so tension is connected to our thoughts, I guess, right? Like, I mean, obviously, some people have injuries and things like that. That's a bit of a different story. You might have
That's a
tense
different
muscles because
story.
you have
Yes.
whatever, like a spinal injury or something. But for the most part, I guess people aren't accumulating tension in their neck while they're like having a good time. I guess it's fair to say, right? Like, there's kind of like happening at the same time, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like emotionally, how we are in that moment. And we can tap into that as well, right? Like,
Hmm.
okay, so what is it that I'm actually feeling? Oh, I feel a butterfly in the place where my stomach starts right here. Okay, so what is that about? Right? So we are going into where the source of the tension is, not to, we're not going, okay, tension, go away. Go away. I need you to go away. No, it's being able to find the wisdom of the body, like by being present only.
Hmm.
It happens only when I am present with that. Oh, okay, so this is what I'm feeling. And what is it, how that information that I'm getting from my body, the wisdom, it's actually it's going to help me to maintain my health in that moment. For example, right now I am feeling frustrated with this at this point. So, okay, so what is it that I want to do now to help myself with the tension so that my mm, it's all about your health, being being conscious about it all the time. Like what I would do to make my neck better. So then with that information, then you ask, it's all about being self-aware and create and cultivating more self-awareness. Okay,
Right.
so I'm feeling frustrated. Okay, so what is it that I want to do now? You know what? I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to take a break,
Yeah.
right? That is where it comes, how being present is so important to make
Hmm.
decisions, to make changes, to change habits, right? Mhm.
Yeah, I think actually it's interesting you said about taking a break because I find that when I need to take a break, it's usually signals from my body that kind of are telling me to take a break. It's not usually some mental aspect like, okay, I've done enough thinking or working and now I should stop. It's usually like I get a sensation in my body. Maybe it's like I have a bit too much energy or something building up. And then I say, you know what, I'm going to, I don't know, walk around the block or do
Right,
something to give my mind a break.
right. To do your mind a break, then you move, right?
Right, yeah. So a lot of these things tie together. One thing that was popping in my mind, I think is relevant. Not everybody can do this though, but like when you get into nature, I find that's a great way to get present. Like
Oh,
just being in the woods and you
yes.
hear like birds or water.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, when you just said that, I was like, a deep breath. It just came to me like I felt this spaciousness when you were saying that, how
mhm,
spacious nature is,
right.
right? Yeah. So for me, it's the healer. I call, nature is the healer for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I always find that when I am in nature, kind of correct calibrates me, like my breath slows down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always feel lighter. The sound of birds is always something.
Yes.
Get you out
Yeah.
of your head in a sense, I guess, because you're hearing things
Yes.
from
And
all
that is
directions.
because you are using your senses, right? When you
Okay.
hear the bird, you are allowing yourself stopping the mind for a moment, paying attention to using your hearing, one of the senses, right?
Hmm.
So that's why nature is so healing when we have a walk in the trees, among the trees. Um, it's because our senses are completely engaged with the power of nature. Mhm.
Right.
So your eyes are green, the green is so, right? The color green right now is extremely healthy for the liver,
Yeah.
liver
Oh,
energy.
okay.
So then you see, then you hear, then you smell, right? The sense of the flowers, right? And then when you touch the tree, right? Like you are allowing yourself to be, for me personally, it's a
Yeah.
cleansing. It's a clean, I get extremely clean. I feel the cleanness after, or energy. For me, my energy is very clean after, and
Right.
also
Yeah.
replenished by
Yeah.
by walking. So for me, going into nature is one of the most best ways to bring energy, to cleanse, to purge energy that you don't need anymore, and then to allow new, fresh energy to nourish your body
Right.
and
Yeah.
mind, both at the same time.
I think
Mhm.
if someone is having trouble cultivating a sense of presence, I think going into nature is a good way to just get a because it's so multimodal. Like you have the senses and sights and everything all at once. I would like to say it's hard to not be present, but
Yes.
yeah,
And
depending on what your
sometimes
mind.
we see, sometimes we see people that are walking in a park, for instance, and they are with their phone, So then there is a little bit of one sense is the hearing,
Right.
not paying attention to the birds,
Yeah.
right? So it's a little, there is a little bit of not completely present.
Right. Yeah. So you don't want to trick yourself. Yeah. If you're walking around with a cell phone, that doesn't fully count.
No, exactly. It's like exercising with a TV in front of you. Same, right?
Right.
There's a
Okay.
split of, mhm.
It's not
Yeah. So,
whole.
so that is so interesting. Hmm?
It's not
Say
like
that
whole. I want to say
it's
it's not
not
like
whole.
holistic. Or,
Exactly.
I think
It's not
one
whole. Mhm.
something I guess I think we touched on it a little earlier, but maybe we could speak on presence. So I guess not just being present on your own, but being present with another person. Maybe we can
Okay.
speak
Yeah.
about that a bit.
Right. So for me, the way I perceive presence is the co-regulation of our nervous system that happens when we are present with ourselves. And you know what being present with ourselves means is when we are who we truly are, you know,
Okay.
when we are who we are. It sounds like a little, redundant, but and it is like I am who I want, who
Hmm.
I am who I am, who mm, the privilege of a lifetime is to be who you are. It's one of the Carl Jung's phrases
Okay.
that I really like. Um, so being present with, with what you are, accepting who you are in my flaws or my talents or whatever it is.
Hmm.
And then, for example, sometimes I get nervous and then accepting, oh, you know what, I am nervous. I'm anxious sometimes. I am, and then accepting that as I am. And then from that acceptance, I am with another. And that is what presence is, right? I
Okay.
am with another from that place of accepting myself how I am. You know how sometimes we have an inner critic, right? A
Yes.
strong inner critic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. And sometimes the inner critic has a big voice, says a lot of things about, no, you are not this, you are not that, or you did this, or you didn't do that, da, 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 da. And then is to be able to find peace with that inner critic. So, for instance, I listen to it. I say, okay, is this true what you are saying? Is this true what I'm thinking? Mhm.
Hmm.
And then working with that, finding peace, then from that place of being who you are in that process of accepting your internal. Remember when we talk about our internal world,
Yeah.
right? And then from that place, I am with another. So there is an acceptance of me, then there is an acceptance of you, of
Hmm.
how you are as well, as we are together. And that for me is presence. Presence is this empathy that comes, or that comes when I have worked with myself. I am constantly, it's not something that is finished. It's something that I will finish at the end of my life, right? But it's this possibility to have empathy for another, because I have been there or not, but I am human. We are humans, both, you know? So presence for me comes in that relationship, in that relational moment when, like right now,
Right.
we both are here, and then I feel the presence that we are building. When you listen to me, when I am listening to you, when we express what we want to express, truly. So that is what for me presence is. But it comes because I am able to be present with me and my whole thing, like what is it that I think about me sometimes? What is it that I praise about me or not? All my aspects, the darkness and the light, as some people say, the
Hmm.
unresolved issues and the ones that are resolved. So from that place is that presence comes, is created.
Right.
How,
Okay.
how about you, Danny? For you, what it is presence?
Um, I guess yeah, like I feel like it's something I'm still learning, but yeah, I feel like it's kind of accepting myself and I guess yeah, you kind of I don't think you can really be present with someone else properly when you have like you said the inner critic running or you're thinking about what you're going to eat for dinner. Something else I think is that it commonly I feel like a lot of people or myself included we try to act a particular way in a
Mhm,
particular situation. So this is something I'm trying to learn not to do. So like I might be in a certain situation and say, okay, in this situation, I should act like this. So the whole time I'm trying to think about maintaining this certain composure. So I'm not present with so I'm not being present with myself or having authentic presence with other people. So I guess kind of like as I get older, as I learn, I'm just
mhm,
trying to be okay with myself first, and then nothing bad seems to come from that so far. And then that gives me like more space to actually experience the other person as well. Because if you're trying to maintain a particular composure,
mhm,
a lot of your energy is going towards that, so you're not really experiencing the other person. And then if you let your guard down, oftentimes the other person lets their guard down, and now you have that kind of authentic experience.
mhm.
Yeah,
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. It's mm, being present brings presence. Mhm. There is more possibility to have presence, to experience presence because we are present here. And that doesn't mean that we are going to be, all an angel, or
right. Yeah,
it has to do with the possibility to say, I am tired right now. Can we talk about this problem maybe
ah,
tomorrow? You know,
right. Okay.
and that is the possibility that is where presence is. And then the other person is going to say, oh, well, yes, or, it has
Yeah,
to do
that's
with that. Mhm.
I think that's insightful what you just said, even as like, oh, like I'm tired. Can we talk about this later? Because oftentimes we're like, okay, I have, even though I'm tired, I need to do this thing, whatever it is, face
Mhm.
this issue, so we don't kind of check in with ourselves. Especially, it's it seems like something we might not want to do, I suppose, to be honest with like check in with ourselves, but then also be like honest about that with other people. Like, you know what, I think it'd be better if we picked up on this tomorrow. But that could be a gift to everybody because if you're just suffering through it, like I'm getting
Yeah,
signals from my body, but I'm not gonna listen. It's
right.
probably gonna spill out into the interaction, right? Like,
Right. It's gonna be, there is probably reactivity is gonna come, right?
right, yeah,
Yeah, I start to react because I cannot be present because I'm tired.
hmm
Right? So I need to rest to be able to be present fully
right, yeah,
there. Hmm. Yeah. So
yeah,
being present is, wow, it's a work of a lifetime, I think. Mhm.
right, yeah. There's always work to be done, but you can. It doesn't have to be daunting. You can just do it in the most small, simple way, like all of these things.
Yes, your senses, your breath, right? What else do we have to be able to become present? You know,
Yeah, like
even with your mind, just paying attention. Is this thought from the past, from the future, or is it from right now? You know?
it's something you can experiment with. I just thought in my head, like, say, I don't know, if your mind is spinning, if you just, I don't know, cut open an orange and just like let yourself be present with the smell of an orange, and now all of a
Yeah,
sudden you're not your mind isn't spinning anymore, right?
right? That is such a great example. That's such a great example. Right. Because then at that moment you are using your senses to break that cycle, right? The cycle of overthinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but and it's giving yourself that moment, that chance to, okay, this is not healthy, spinning is
Right.
spinning is spinning is not bringing me anything. Actually, I'm going more inwards. My emotions right now are even worse, right? Because it's affecting, because we are all connected, body and mind and emotions,
Yeah.
energy. I'm feeling tired as I overthink more. Emotionally, I'm feeling low because I'm overthinking. There is no solution. So by opening the orange, right? So you are giving
Mhm.
yourself a gift, to just pause for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many little people can come up with their own little tricks, but there's
Yes,
a lot of different ways to gain presence. Um,
right.
so, do you have any? I think we can probably start wrapping up, but
Yes,
is
let's
there
start to wrap up.
anything else you would like to add, or maybe some advice to end on?
Yeah, I think for being present, I think we have had a very good examples on how to
Yeah.
become present. And mm, I think that that is all about the importance of being present.
Mm.
Um, and mm, the power of being present brings awareness, right? When I am aware, then I have possibilities. When have possibilities, I have a choice, and then I can
Okay.
take action. So it is, right? It is so powerful, to be
Mm.
able to be present. Yeah.
Amazing.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. I guess all that I will say is like if people are having challenges with this, is just try to do like a little tiny experiment, like listen to some birds, maybe smell something that smells nice. Who knows? Touch your toes, like or try to touch your toes. Just do anything to get the ball rolling, and then you'll get
Yeah,
momentum
to
once that happens.
interrupt that cycle.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, and
because
experiment with
yeah,
the senses, and as you were saying.
yeah, there's many ways to experience life, and it doesn't have to all be through like thinking and analytical
Yes, exactly.
functions. Yeah.
hmm That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Exactly. So yeah, I hope everybody is using their senses in this amazing weather to just be more present. Yeah. And look forward to seeing you next week.